We begin today's Sunrise Smart Start with some breaking news. Down in the Finger Lakes, there is a large law enforcement scene unfolding at this hour in Waterloo.
Well, we can tell you from the Seneca County Sheriff's Office, there was a post for a public safety announcement on Facebook saying there is a serious incident at the intersection of Waterloo, Geneva, and Brewer Roads, telling neighbors and people nearby to avoid that area this morning. There's the map there. Waterloo, Geneva Road, which is also Route 5, will be shut down until further notice.
A suspect is in custody following a police chase in the city, and this happened a little after 10 on Driving Park Avenue. Troopers tell us they had tried stopping a 2018 Chevy. Now, they note it was not stolen, but the driver did refuse to stop. They chased after the suspect on several streets before losing sight of them, and then both the car and suspect were later found on Flanders Street, where that driver was taken into custody. There are no details yet on charges or this person's identity. We are waiting on that update.
One man is in the hospital, another under arrest after a stabbing here in the city. RPD says that call came in around 8:30 for someone stabbed on St. Paul Boulevard here at a building on Longacre Road at that intersection. The wounded 62-year-old victim did go to the hospital for more treatment. Police say they eventually learned in the investigation there was a fight at a home when the suspect attacked the victim, and a 49-year-old man was arrested nearby. We're told charges have been filed.
Rochester police say they're searching for a suspect after a young man walked into the hospital with a gunshot wound. That 18-year-old arrived just before 7 p.m. and responding officers tell us this man was on Hudson Avenue near Wanda Street when he was shot. That victim ran to a nearby family member's house before being brought to the hospital. If you think you know anything here, you're asked to please call 911.
We are hearing much more from the family at the middle of this sanctuary city debate for Rochester as they respond now more than a week after the mayor says RPD officers went too far, responding to help Homeland Security during an immigration stop. In the days following that stop, Mayor Malik Evans and RPD's Chief David Smith publicly called out and ordered more training for the officers involved on how to properly assist immigration officers working a job. Some have criticized the leader's actions, the mayor and police chief calling them politically motivated, and the critics are taking the officer's side, including President Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, who weighed in. The family we heard from at a rally last night downtown, they're calling for more discipline for the officers at that scene and more protections for the immigrant population as they share their part of the story.
They pushed me because I wanted to stand by my husband to tell him, you know, please calm down. And my stepson that was in the front was just shaking, shaking his hand like that. I never see him so feared, with so much fear. They showed their license and everything. His vehicle's registered. Everything's legal. It wasn't like it was illegal. He was driving somebody else's name or using somebody else's permit or anything, you know.
There is Sarah Galvin, who says her husband and stepsons are being held in Batavia. And we also hear from the Locust Club defending the officers from this incident, saying they were simply doing their job and leaving the logistics up to agents with Border Patrol. Again, Tom Holman says he'll be coming to Rochester, but no specific date has been announced.
He's obviously very against the sanctuary cities. He's made no real qualms about keeping that to himself. And, you know, Rochester has really dug in and taken a stance on that, and the federal government has heard that stance at this point.
City leaders have not offered any more comments since we heard from the mayor and police chief at a news conference a week ago.
Well, 10 correction officers who've been charged with the death of Greece resident and former inmate Robert Brooks, they have been offered a chance to avoid their trial. A special prosecutor announced the offers yesterday in court, although there were no details given in terms of the sentence, what exactly they'd be receiving if they were to change those pleas. The December homicide of Brooks was caught on the officers' body cameras. 6 COs charged with murder, 3 other prison employees charged with manslaughter, and 1 charged with evidence tampering. The officers will be back in court in April to either accept or reject these offers. Of course, News 8 has been extensively reporting on this case and Brooks's death. You can find it all on our website, rochesterfirst.com.
Sunrise traffic here, 7 minutes to go until top of the hour, and a view from our Greater Rock Sky Eye. Traffic picking up, but everything's moving along there, east and westbound, in and out of downtown over Cornhill Landing across 490. 104 the Bay Bridge moving along smoothly, headed out towards Webster, Ontario, and Williamson. No issues there. Ridge Road through Greece, west side. everything moving along, showing up green on our map. Going inside the huddle, Sean McDermott is busy at the NFL annual league meetings in Florida, talking about his stance on trying to ban the tush push. A vote on this play is expected today among the league's owners. McDermott says even though they don't have clear data to suggest the play is an injury concern, he thinks it's wiser to do something and be proactive and do away with a play that he believes could lead to injuries. McDermott is worried about how added force puts more stress on players already in a vulnerable posture, worried about neck, shoulder, head injuries. And as a member of the competition committee, he says he's focused on what's best for the league, even if the Bills and Eagles can't keep tush pushing. The Bills have been busy. They did add a new punter to their roster, signing Brad Robbins. The Bengals drafted him in round 6 in 2023. He played all 17 games that year and was not that good. He got hurt early last year and was cut in October. His skill is more hang time with the punt and pinning teams back inside their own 20, but not a huge leg. For an offense that punts near midfield a lot, our sports director Thad Brown says this is a reasonable move.
Well, today is the eve of what President Trump calls Liberation Day. Tomorrow, he plans to announce reciprocal tariffs on all U.S. trade partners. The president believes it will bring more manufacturing back to the United States. However, this also is fueling some concerns of a worldwide recession. And most Americans expect those prices for many consumer goods are going to spike.
Happening today, this is the deadline for lawmakers to pass the new budget in Albany for New York State, and it's not going to happen. It's late for another year. The state's budget director says a formal extender to get this done will be announced today. That will run until Thursday. 9 budget measures remain unresolved, including the topics of wearing masks, addressing issues with mental health, and changes to discovery laws when it comes to courts and prosecution. The budget director says although everyone wants to see a deal passed, the governor says many of these issues are non-negotiable.
These are things that New Yorkers every day are talking about, and she wants them addressed. Affordability, another big action that she wants to address as well. So we'll take as long as it takes to deliver it, and I think that, and that's not to be sort of adversarial, but I think that even the leaders, working together, we'll get to this place where we land the plane.
The budget projection from the governor's plan was $252 billion. The final total remains to be seen.
Today is finally that day. Local baseball fans have been waiting very patiently for the Red Wings home opener.
Happening this afternoon, the team hosting the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. Game begins at 4:05, gates 2:30. Ryan Corbett, the Dansville man who was held for nearly 900 days, wrongfully detained by the Taliban, he's throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. The Wings also staying true to that 50-degree guarantee, so we will miss that mark. That's just fine. According to Dan Mason, we'll see all the familiar faces back again. Another free ticket for a game this month or in May. James 30s, take your Red Wings jacket, scarf, gloves out there with you.
Nowhere close to that 50 degrees.
Just be the first one there and you'll get a new hat.
Yeah,
about
there
that?
you go.
Sounds
Yes.
good. Should work for you well. We'll need it this week.
That does it for us at Sunrise. We're back here at 7:25.
Have a great day.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather.